Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be telling you guys one of the very interesting episodes of my life. You see this girl, like, I'm very mischievous sometimes. So today I'm going to be giving you guys an interesting gist. If you're new to this channel, please do subscribe, turn on your post notifications so that I can get notified each time I post a video, and don't forget to drop your comments if it's something that you can relate to. So story. Once upon a time there was a girl who ran away from her father's house. Let me just break it down for you guys. First of all, the reason I thought about this video was because I saw a post on Twitter and the guy was talking about how he ran away from home and then he came back and he was beaten. I think he just talked about how he ran away from home and then he came back, and instead of them to like maybe welcome him or something, you know, he still received beating. African parents, what is it? I think this is a story that a lot of people can relate to. When we were at a very young age, 80% or 70% of children felt like their parents hated them. It was always like, these people, are they with my parents? Why are they treating me like this? So that feeling of wanting to just run away from everybody, you know, usually comes. So I said, let me just give you guys my own runaway episode, because guys, I remember every single bit of it. This happened when I was in like GS2, secondary school, high school. I don't know what you guys call it. Like, if you're not in Nigeria, I don't know what you call it, but yeah, secondary school. So I was around like 12, 13 or 11 years, just that range. And I was tired. I was tired of my school. My own was mainly because of my school. My parents added to it, but it was mainly because of my school that I wanted to run away. I didn't want to go back to that school. I was being oppressed. Secondary school in Nigeria is just somewhere that senior students just want to show their power. They want to just be wicked. They feel like being wicked is part of the things you have to achieve as a senior student in school. So it was crazy. And then the hostel I was in, the people that were around me were just like senior students that were just wicked. So I just didn't want to go back to school. And I was telling my parents that I didn't want to go back to that school. And they were like, it's school life, it's part of school life. They just feel like everything that has to do with suffering in secondary school is part of, you know, it's part of the process. So it was getting close to the time where I was supposed to go back to school, like 2 days before I would go back to school. So I was just thinking to myself, do I really want to go back to this school? I said, no, let's rewind. This is not when I started thinking about running away. I actually started thinking about running away long before that time. But it was 2 days before I went back to school that I now ran away. Throughout my holiday when I went home, I was just looking for an escape plan. And during that period, I went to an abandoned house. And how I knew about this abandoned house was from one period when I was like way younger. I used to go for like art lessons with my siblings. So during that time when we were going for art lessons, there was this building that we used to pass that was looking, you know, it was abandoned. Grasses had grown everywhere, was like, you know, it just looked so abandoned and stuff. And at that time, I felt like a building that is abandoned is for nobody. So in my mind, I was like, this building that we've been passing since, I can go there and stay. That was my plan, guys. My plan was that particular house, that's where I'm going to stay. So I was like, okay, if I leave this my house now, I would look for a job. Maybe I'll just go look for where I can wash plates and something, and anything, you know, all these small jobs. Then with that, I'll now get money. When I get money, I'll now look for who I will pay to go and clear the house, and that's where I'll stay. Guys, that was my plan. Who was I thinking at that time? And I was not joking. So like towards this period, I was thinking about like my escape, planning my escape and everything. And I went to check out the house. It's close to my normal house. It's just very close. It's, you know, it's a walkable distance. So I went to check it out. I was like, okay, this house is still abandoned. This was like almost 1 year or 2 years after the art lesson. So I was like, okay, it's still abandoned, so I can still use it. So I said, okay. I started packing my things small. I was packing my things small. So on this very fateful day, I packed my things inside. I think it was inside like a sack bag. And I packed my shoes. I packed the sheets. I packed my clothes. Not so much. I packed some shoes. I had to pack light so that I can move. So I now started moving my things out of the house, little by little. So I took my things out to the back of the house, just a few things. Took it to the back of our house because we had like this we had the space behind the house, so that's where I went to stay, behind our house. So that night I was like, I'm done, and I left. Like, that particular night. But I did not leave, like I was still behind the house. I had not gone like completely, but I was like, it's 9th, so let me just sleep here and then tomorrow I will move. So and I went to the back of the house with my bed sheets, everything. I was ready. So as I was there, they started looking for me inside the house. They were like, Anita, where's Anita? Where's Anita? Where's Anita? Where's... They did not they were just looking for me. They didn't find me and everything. Me, I didn't even send. Like, I don't know how. I was so, my mind was already made up. I was like, I'm not going back into this house. I'm not going back to that school. Since my parents have refused to listen to me, they also do not like me, so I'm not going back to that house. I'm not going back to that school. So they kept on looking for me, obviously. And then I didn't have a phone, so there was no way for them to call me. Surprisingly, they were not sounding so frustrated. Now that I'm thinking about it, they were not sounding so frustrated like somebody that has lost their daughter. Yes. So I was at the back of the house. Night had come. You know, they were tired of looking for me at that time. They had gone round. I was at the back of the house, but I was hiding somewhere, like in a place where they couldn't find me. So they had gone around the house, checked everywhere, they didn't find me. So it was time for me to sleep now. I was sleeping on the floor. I lay down on the floor. Although I placed my bed sheets. I had the one that I used to cover myself. I had the one that I used to sleep. So I placed my bed sheet on the floor and then I covered myself and I was ready to sleep. Guys, the mosquito that dealt with me, I can never forget it. Like, even with the fact that I was covered, it was crazy. I was so uncomfortable. So in the middle of the night, around, not so late, to I think like 12 a.m. ish, like 12 a.m. in the middle of the night, I was like, I can't sleep here again. Let me change position. Because we had a swing at the back of the house, not a small swing. The swing was like wide, like 3 people can sit on it. So I was like, let me go and lie down there. It was more comfortable. It was like a couch, but it was a swing. So I was like, okay, let me go there and stay because I know they've gone to bed. So I went there now. I was now lying down. I covered myself. It was much better. There was still mosquito, but it was not as bad because I wasn't sleeping on the floor. So as I was there, brothers and sisters, my brother came out to fetch water at the back of the house. And at the place where he will fetch the water, like the place where you fetch water is, you can see the swing from there. So unfortunately for me, guys, my brother saw me there. He was like, who is this person? Who are you? I didn't want to say anything. I was like, God, no. My plans have failed. That was so sad. I didn't want to answer. I was like, who is this person? He never was like, Anita, what are you doing here? What is, as in, he could not understand, like, I did not say anything. He now like, obviously, in fact, I felt like I was already, my plans had failed already. So he now told me to go inside. Just gingered me, I should come on, go inside. And I had to carry my baggage and everything to go inside the house. So as I went inside the house, my dad was laughing. Yes, I think my dad was laughing because he couldn't understand what would have prompted me to have all these thoughts. So they started questioning me, like, how did this, as in, guys, I had a master plan. The only part that I did not think about was the fact that I wanted to stay in a house that was abandoned. That would have been so messed up. Like, what was I thinking? So I would just go to the house, somebody's house, and start clearing it for me to stay inside. God, I can't believe I actually thought of it from that angle. So I was not telling them that I'm tired of school, like that my school, I didn't want to go back, that's why I ran away. My dad was like, no, cannot be. My dad didn't want to believe that I was the one that like planned everything and just did everything on my own. He was like, who is the person that's like, who have you been talking to? Who put this in your head? I was like, nobody. This is just me, as in me, my own thoughts. They laughed at me. I was so angry. I was like, you guys don't even understand my situation. I don't like that school. I don't want to go back to that school. Do you know that the next 2 days, these people still sent me to that school? Like, all my episodes, it was just like a joke. It was like I was joking. It's like, these people, they don't even know that this is a serious thing, and I actually really wanted to like be away from this house. I had my plans already. I planned to wash plates. In my mind, if you go to a restaurant and just tell them you want to wash plates for them, they'll pay you good money, like 15,000 naira. In fact, 15,000 naira a month was a big deal. That's almost like 20 something dollars. That'd be $30. That's around $30. So I thought that would have been enough for me to survive in a month and clear that building. So in my mind, I had it all planned out, and I felt like it was going to work, like 100%. I had no single doubt that it was going to work. I never thought of like the dangers of all those things, like what will happen if I run away, like kidnappers, thieves, everything. I never thought of all the evil things that could happen. All I was thinking about was all the positive things I could get. I'll get my freedom. I'll not go back to that school. Maybe like later I'll be able to train myself in any school that I want. I had 100% confidence. So if you've had any episode like this, if you ever thought of running away from home, or you actually ran away from home, just tell your own story in the comment section. Yeah, that story of how I ran away from my parents' home. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye.